I consider myself to be a bit of a Pixar neuroscientist. You know, an expert about the goings-on inside the heads of characters from Pixar films. Or basically, to everyone else in the world, someone who watches Inside Out too much. But despite having a whole series dedicated to what's going on inside the head of other Pixar characters, today I'm going to be talking about Riley. Hello there! How are you doing? So, as you'll know, in Riley's mind in Inside Out, each of the core memories powers an island of personality. And at the start of the film, you'll notice she's actually very young in each of these core memories. The oldest being from when she scored her first hockey goal, from when I'd say she was about 3 or 4 years old. So therefore, when the film was taking place, she was 11 by this stage, of course. She hadn't developed a new island of personality in like 7 years. But then as the plot of the film starts to unravel, she develops a new sad core memory. And of course, Joy doesn't let it reach the core memory station thingy. I watch Inside Out a lot, but I have no idea what that's called. So we never get to see what kind of island this core memory powers. So today we're going to talk about what that island would have been. The obvious idea for this island would have been some sort of Minnesota island, or some sort of homesick island. The name isn't too important. It'll basically just be an island about missing something you love, presumably, right? Since she's moved to San Francisco and misses everything about Minnesota, like her hockey team and her old house and all her friends living in Minnesota. However, I think this is completely incorrect. I believe that the memory would have created a school island. But, you know, I'm feeling fair, so if you want to convince me that the memory created some sort of homesick island, let me know why in the comments section below. Since the memory was created on her first day at her new school, she was 11 years old, which is the age when people start secondary school, which is arguably a very, very important time in most people's lives. And it's part of what makes you who you are. I, for one, can say my secondary school moulded me into the person I am in good and bad ways. I think it's definitely important enough to have its own island of personality, and it's probably the same for Riley too. And I think this is more likely than this so-called homesick island, because when Riley looks back at this memory, she's not going to think, oh, I miss Minnesota so much. She's going to think about the sad, embarrassing memory when she cried in front of her entire class on the first day of school. Hashtag relatable. Don't ask. But yeah, I hear you. There needs to be evidence. And oh, there is evidence. At the end of the film, Riley has 9 islands of personality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And all of the islands that were knocked down during the course of the film are back up and running. There's Hockey Island, which is now run by both an angry and happy memory. There's Honesty Island, which really just hasn't changed at all from earlier in the film. There's Family Island, which is huge now, like there aren't just 2 islands sitting next to it, that is all just one big island. There's Friendship Island.
Friendship Island is expanded.
And surprisingly, there's still even a Goofball Island. And I actually do find that quite surprising because she's 12 now, and I thought there was a possibility she might grow out of Goofball Island, but obviously not. And I think the fact that all these islands are back and rebuilt would imply that the island created by the sad core memory would also be built and back up and running. Well, for the first time, because it never actually got up and running in the first place. Since Joy does bring the memory with her after their great adventure at long-term memory and gives it to sadness at the end of the film. And if you take a closer look at the 9 islands of personality, you'll notice that there's a school island. I don't think there's any question about it. That is undoubtedly a school island, which is definitive proof that there was a school island formed at one point or another. And what more of an iconic memory than when she cried on her first day at school? Well, that's great. It fits almost too perfectly. Problem solved. Video done. Whew. Wait, the video isn't over yet. There is one small tiny flaw with this theory. There are 3 other islands referred to by sadness, disgust, and fear.
I like Tragic Vampire Romance Island.
Fashion Island? Everyone shut up.
Boy Band Island. Hope that's just a phase.
And for those of you counting, that's all 9 islands. You've got Goofball Island, School Island, Friendship Island. I believe this one is the Tragic Vampire Romance Island, the huge Family Island. This one seems to fit the bill for Boy Band Island, Honesty Island, Hockey Island, and therefore by process of elimination, it means this internet social network themed island is Fashion Island? So close! So close! I thought it was problem solved, but this one island changes everything. Okay, it doesn't really ruin my whole there's a school island theory. I'm pretty sure that's still a school island, and I'm pretty sure it was formed by the sad core memory at the start of the film. And that does answer the title question. But it does bring up one new glaring problem. Where is Fashion Island? Because none of these islands are a fashion island. And then we also know there's some sort of like social networking island that just is never mentioned and just doesn't really fit at all. Unless, as I said earlier, this whole internet social networking themed island is Fashion Island. Seamus, are you sure you know what fashion is? No, I'm really not, but hear me out. You see, in the past, the primary way to find out about fashion and the new styles was through magazines and the television. I think I wouldn't consider myself a beauty guru. But now we live in a more modern age, and arguably the easiest way to keep up with the new styles is through the internet. And we know that Inside Out took place in the modern day because of the technology Riley uses throughout the film. Meaning maybe Riley keeps up to date with fashion through the internet. Like maybe Riley's just like a huge Zoella fan. This would explain why the Fashion Island is all made up of computers and things to do with the internet. Because maybe Riley's main use of the internet is watching fashion videos and finding out about the new styles. Well, it's either that or the animators just made a huge mistake. Choose to believe which one you want. Boom! Another Inside Out mystery solved. I'm on fire today. But despite the fact I think I've solved this problem, and I believe she created a school island with the sad core memory at the start, there is another theory I have about the 6th core memory and what kind of island it could have powered. And it wouldn't be fair if I didn't let you in on all the options. This one being that this memory was an updated core memory and powered one of the original Islands of Personality. Seamus, what on earth is an updated core memory? Are you like making up terms as well now? This is something I've briefly discussed on other videos on my channel. And basically, it's when an old core memory powering a specific Island of Personality is replaced by a new, more recent core memory. Then the new core memory powers the old island in replace of the old core memory. And we know this happens since you can see through the clip at the end when it goes through her core memories that the memory of her scoring her first goal is no longer her oldest core memory, as she is older in this core memory which seemingly replaced the honest core memory from earlier in the film. And the Family Island core memory is also replaced at the end of the film. There's also evidence that her hockey core memory was replaced, meaning that I think core memories can be updated by a new memory of the same type if it exceeds the importance of the original memory. So I thought there was a possibility that this 6th core memory was just an updated core memory and was going to power one of the current Islands of Personality in place of one of the older core memories. However, there's no island it really makes sense for this memory to power, so I think it's just much easier to assume that it powers the school island seen at the end of the film. But if you think it makes more sense for it to power one of the original Islands of Personality, let me know why down in the comments section below, because I may be wrong. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, click subscribe here, and if you want to know what's going on inside the heads of other Pixar characters, watch my What's Going On Inside Their Head playlist here. I upload a new video to that playlist every month. Also, check out my other social medias, specifically YouNow, where I'm broadcasting every Sunday, and also Instagram, where I'm going to be posting a new photo every day this week. Make sure to check those links out in the description, and I'm running out of time on this end card, so I'll see you guys